Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you joined me today. Guess what we're doing? We're doing a book haul. And it's so funny that we're doing a book haul because Hannah does not bookshop anymore. I know. I have not been actually book shopping in quite a long time. I actually just released a vlog of my first time book shopping in a very long time. So if you're interested and haven't watched that one, go make sure you watch that. But a lot of these books that I'm going to show you today have been accumulated over the past several months. I have not gone out and just bought a ton of books. So these are books that I have accumulated one way or the other over the past several months. So I do not have a ton of books here to talk to you about, but there is a stack to keep us busy. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's do a book haul together. Okay, so I'm just gonna basically pull books off of the stack. And the first book that is in the stack is The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. My book club, Comfy Cozy, read The Spell Shop back in October or November, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, but we did it as an unofficial buddy read, and I knew that as soon as she was coming out with this one that we had to read this one as well. So we are reading this for my book club in August as an unofficial buddy read, and this is set in the same world as The Spell Shop was. I don't think you have to necessarily read them in order, but I highly recommend that you read The Spell Shop. It was just precious, and I have a feeling that this one is going to be just as precious. Okay, yes. So it is a standalone, but it's set in the same world as The Spell Shop. This is following our main character who lives on an island pretty much by herself. The only other human is a very grumpy gardener, and I believe that this one also involves a talking spider plant, just like The Spell Shop did, and that was one of the best parts of The Spell Shop. So I'm really excited about this one. The book community really needs to get itself together on how to read this series. But I picked up Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is book number 2 of the Throne of Glass series. If you've been following me on this journey of reading Throne of Glass, I have been a little confuzzled, okay? I have no idea how to read this series, and I feel like a lot of us are in the same boat. So if you don't know the drama or the tea, let me let you in on it. So the book community is at odds on where to read The Assassin's Blade in this series. The Assassin's Blade is made up of a bunch of different novellas that are a prequel to this series. So I read Throne of Glass first, and then yesterday I was feeling a little bit kind of romance fantasy vibes, and so I went into the first novella of The Assassin's Blade. Loved it. Gave it 5 stars. I loved it so much. I don't know if it was the fact that it just had pirates in it, and I just love pirates with a passion, but I loved that novella. However, I'm not in the mood to continue into that book right now. I think my plan is to go into this one first, and then potentially go back into Assassin's Blade, either 3rd or 4th. I haven't decided yet. I haven't really decided exactly how I'm going to read it yet, but I do know for a fact that I'm going to read this one next, so that's why I picked this one up. Next is a graphic novel. And I haven't been buying a lot of graphic novels recently because I haven't been reading them, if I'm being quite honest. But I was with one of my friends in Nashville, and we found this book, and she highly recommended it to me. And that is The Song of the Court by Katie Farina. I have heard nothing about this book until she recommended it to me, but I think the main characters are all animals, and they're so adorable. Oh my goodness. And all I know about it is it's basically about 2 unlikely friends that encourage each other to follow their dreams. So I thought this would be a really cute, fast graphic novel. This one comes with a little bit of a story. So this next book is called Story of My Life, and it's by Lucy Score. I've not read anything by Lucy Score, but one of my friends just recently celebrated her birthday, and I picked up this beautiful paperback edition of this book because my friend loves Lucy Score. And so I picked this up, and One of my other friends had the same idea, and so we ended up getting her the same book. And so I got to keep this one, and I don't know how I'm gonna like it, but it is stunning, and I guess we'll give it a try and we'll see how it goes. Next, let's talk about this beauty right here that I feel like nobody is talking about, and that is His Face is the Sun. And I'm not gonna even try to butcher this author's name, but it's right here if you're interested. This is a young adult romantasy book that is set in Egypt. And I don't know anything other than that. I saw one girl talk about this book, and immediately when she showed the sprayed edges, I immediately went out and got it. It does also have a map at the very front, which I just always love when fantasy books have maps. And it's just a stunning edition, and I just could not go for it, especially because it's set in Egypt. I love anything about Egypt. I love learning about Egypt. I think it's just so fascinating. So I'm really excited to read a romantasy that takes place in Egypt. This next book I also picked up on a whim, and that is Wild About You by Caitlin Hill. First of all, isn't this cover just so dang cute? It looks like a little postcard. This book follows our main character, Natalie, who is a freshman in college, and we all know what that's like. She is a broke freshman, and she decides to join this competition of hiking the Appalachian Trail. And on this competition, one of her teammates kind of sticks out to her, but he's really grumpy, and they're forced to work together. This sounds like a lot of fun. If I do remember correctly, I believe this is YA, if not YA new adult. Another beautiful book that I picked up while I was at the beach, because I feel like this is a perfect book to read at the beach or in a setting like that, and that is Night Weaver, and this is by R.M. Gray. I have heard absolutely zero people talking about this book, but I could not leave it at the bookstore. Look how stunning this book is. I am obsessed with these sprayed edges, and what really gets me is what's inside of the dust jacket, because as soon as I pulled this dust jacket off, guys, I immediately put it in my hands, and I knew that we were going home with this. It's a pirate ship! Guys, it's a pirate ship. Do you guys see that? It's a pirate ship. Of course it came home with me. I let him place his hands on either side of my head. Let him encapsulate me with his body until I feel as if the sea has wrapped me in its embrace. The scent of brine clinging to his sun-kissed skin. His blue eyes seize mine, gently yet commanding, like the tide pulling me into the deep. He echoes my words from earlier this evening, his breath caressing my cheek. You're exactly like I thought you would be. And that is, I managed to ask. He inclines his head so that his lips are so close to mine that I don't dare take a breath. My eyes shuddering closed. Brave, he murmurs, his voice as lulling and familiar as the crash of a wave. Ah! Get yourself together. Get yourself together. Let's all do a round of applause for the fact that Hannah has officially finished the Shatter Me series. I finished the Shatter Me series, and it hurt my heart to finish it, but it also ended in the most beautiful way. There is not a book series on this planet that stands a chance against the Shatter Me series. I'm just going to let you know, in my humble opinion, that is my favorite series of all time and will continue to be my favorite of all time. But anyway, so Tara Maffey knew that she couldn't leave the universe of the Shatter Me series behind, and she wrote another series based off of the Shatter Me series. And this one is called Watch Me, and it's by Tara Maffey. This is not part of the original series because this one follows a new main character. And I'm not going to go into this one at all because I want you to read the Shatter Me series first, and then potentially start this one. I'm hoping this one stands up to the test of time that those did, because I have high hopes for this one. If you have seen me talk about these books here on my channel, I am like creating a pretty good collection of these books because you don't see them everywhere, especially like the big bookstores. I always find them at my local used bookstores, and that is the Amish Inn mystery series. So I have quite the collection of these now because every time I see them I have to grab one. So this one is Homespun Homicide, and this one is To Love and to Vanish. Every single book in this series is written by a different author. I haven't done my research on as to why. It's basically one big mystery series that follows this main character who moves to an Amish village, and she's just trying to navigate that while also tackling murder cases. And they are so fun. These also have like aspects of faith weaved throughout them, and I just love them so much. So I would highly recommend, if you have a local used bookstore near you, look for these. It's been a while since I hauled a new Darcy Coates. The newest Darcy Coates that I am adding to my collection is House of Shadows. And if you guys have been around on my channel since I've been reading Darcy Coates, I really thoroughly enjoy her writing. She writes a lot of ghosty horror stories. Me personally, I think some of her books are better than others, but that doesn't keep me from trying all of her stories. This one in particular is following our main character, Sophie, and Sophie's family is really struggling. So to help her family, she is kind of almost forced to marry this wealthy man, and upon marrying him, he brings her to his house that is haunted. I will never tire of haunted house stories. I will eat them up every single time. Next is another book in the horror genre, and that is Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Chismar. I have heard very, very mixed things about this specific book. This has been around for a minute, I feel like. And this one follows a crazed serial killer who is killing a bunch of college kids. And I don't 100% know what makes it horror. I'm assuming it's going to be the descriptions and all the things. I will say that there are some horror books that I can handle, and there are some horror books that I cannot handle. So I'm curious to see how this one falls. But again, I've heard some pretty good things about this one, so we shall see. Was this book anywhere on my radar? No, it wasn't. Did I immediately grab it when I saw it at my local used bookstore? Yeah, I did. King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. S.A. Cosby has been one of those authors that I've kind of been nervous going into their books, but I feel like I'm gonna really like this one. This one is following our main character named Roman, and Roman leaves his family's crematorium business and he moves away and he goes on with his life until he receives a call from his sister. His father has been in a hit and run accident. He needs to come home right away. And so Roman comes home only to find so many other things going on. And Roman is forced to dive back into the case of his missing mother. And so there's so many things going on in this book. I have heard that there is quite a things, darker themes in this book, so please be aware of that. Like I said, this is my first S.A. Cosby book, and I'm anxious yet excited to see how it goes. And there you have it, my friends, just a small little book haul, nothing super crazy. Those are just the books that I have accumulated over the past several months, and I thought I would share them with you. If you have read any of these books, please let me know down below how you liked them or disliked them. And until next time, my friends, remember this world is a better place with you in it, and I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys!